Welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to preview the 2017 Bulldog softball season. And with us, head coach Adam Kirkpatrick. Adam, first of all, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Hard to believe the season's just a month or so away, and I know your team hard at work here during the winter months, getting ready for another season of Ferris State softball.
Working hard every day.
Certainly. Talk about what goes into those off-season workouts as you get ready for the season. Obviously, a lot of work indoors here with the winter weather in Michigan.
Yeah, we try to take advantage of the indoors as much as we can. Work a lot on hitting, communication, things like that. It's difficult a little bit sometimes with space restrictions. Hard to work with the outfield and things like that, but we see some of these things as an advantage as well. It helps us communicate better and use our resources a little better.
Obviously, you were part of the staff last spring, 36 wins for the Bulldogs. Just as you look back and reflect on last year's accomplishments, what does that mean as you get ready for this season?
Well, it's a good base to build from. You know, obviously, we're proud of the accomplishments that we had last year. We want to make sure that we're building off of those, but we also can't get caught up looking in the past as well. We have to make sure that we're looking forward into the future, working hard every day to make sure that we're getting prepared for this season. Obviously,
as I mentioned, you were part of the staff under Wally King last year. He departed. You take over this season. Just talk about how the change has been here over the course of the past few months. You've had a chance to work with the team.
Yeah, it's been great. You know, Coach King had an opportunity to go take a great position somewhere and availed himself of that opportunity. I was very, very pleased to get this opportunity to be the head coach. I'm very thankful to Mr. Weisenberger for giving me that opportunity. As far as making the transition, obviously there's always going to be differences in styles and things from person to person, but I feel like it was pretty seamless. Was able to retain assistant coach Jasmine Watson so that we've had some pretty good continuity between the two staffs. And then moving forward, you know, just getting into the program that we run now and being focused on the future.
Obviously, a great nucleus coming back from last year's team. Just talk about the team coming back and what you expect maybe in terms of some of the personnel coming here this season.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have a lot to replace, actually. We didn't lose many people. We lost a lot of production out of our senior class from last year. We lost 2 all-conference pitchers, lost a starting second baseman who was a big part of our offense, lost a couple of other players, outfielders, utility players who contributed a lot to our offensive prowess last year. Being able to replace those, not the easiest thing, but I feel like we've got some great young players who have come in to help with the program. We also have some returning upperclassmen who had some big impact last year, and maybe we'll see their roles increased a little bit. In the pitching side, Sam Bates, a really good pitcher for us. Last year split time between the outfield and pitching. This year will be primarily a pitcher. She'll take on a much bigger role in what we're doing on the pitching staff. We'll take a lot more innings this season. She was really good for us last year in more of that limited role, and so we're expecting big things from her. I got 2 good freshmen coming in, and of course have a senior in Megan Heiler who has been there for us and has really filled a nice role for us, so we'll get some good leadership out of her, and so pleased with that. From the offensive side, we got to replace that production there, but we do have some great players stepping in.
Who do you see as some of the leaders coming in this season? Obviously, you mentioned Megan Heiler. Who are some of the other key seniors or upperclassmen that'll lead the way?
Sarah Johnson, Bailey Darwin, they're part of our senior class. Casey Bias is senior catcher, who's been here for 4 years and has started most of that time. She'll do a great job for us. Sarah Ferenz has really made a lot of strides and a lot of progress since last year. She's stepping up for us and will probably play a much more prominent role this season than she did last season even, and she was good for us last year in her role. So those are kind of the leaders on that senior side right now.
Obviously, in terms of the schedule, you start off with the Midwest Region crossover, you go to Florida again. Just talk about how those games prepare you for the start of the conference season.
Yeah, the regional crossover tournament's going to be pretty tough. The GLVC, it's mainly GLIAC and GLVC teams. A lot of their teams were ranked top 10 throughout the year last year, U of Indy, Truman State, Missouri St. Louis, and so we'll be seeing those programs while we're there. So it'll be a great test early to see where we stack up against the rest of our region.
Certainly, as you get ready for the GLIAC season coming up late March with the start of the conference season, you've been through it once before here last spring. What do you expect out of the GLIAC, and how tough is this league day in and day out?
This league is very tough day in and day out, and particularly at the top of our conference, we have some teams that compete for the national championship every year. You know, Wayne State, Grand Valley last year were both very good. We were right there with them, had some great contests with those teams. Ashland is always extremely good. Last year, of course, Grand Valley was able to make it to the D2 College World Series, and Wayne State was the team that they defeated to get there. So our conference is always very, very tough.
What do you see as some of the team strengths here in the early part of the season as you get ready for the start of that conference season?
Yeah, our team strengths are going to be our offensive production. I really feel that way. From a defensive standpoint, I think we've made a lot of strides and making some improvements. And then from the pitching side, we will be not quite as deep this year, but I think all 4 of my pitchers have made great strides since last season. So,
obviously, you've had 6 months or so here leading the way. Talk about the program, the state of Ferris State softball, and building something special here at Ferris State.
Well, and our goal is to keep building and to get a little more stability in the program. You know, a lot of turnover in the coaching staffs through the years, and so the goal right now is just to get some stability there and get the kids comfortable with the idea that going forward we've got a long-term plan. A lot of recruiting, but also investing every day in our players today and helping them be the best that they can possibly be at this moment.
Obviously, here some home action coming up, not until the month of April. How excited are you for some of those home games here at the Ferris State softball field?
Always really excited to play at home. We had great turnout and support last year at our games. Good crowds. Would love to see that increase. Always trying to build relationships with our community and try to build up from the ground up and get that big fan base going. And so we're always excited. Now, you know, the weather is always a little bit of a challenge early in the season, and so we'll just have to see how that works out.
Goals for the season as you get ready for the 2017 campaign?
Yeah, our goals are always the same. Be the best we can be right now. You know, take every day, get in the process of getting better, make progress happen, and, you know, down the road maybe that prize will come along. But we try not to look too far ahead. You know, our goal is to be the best team that we can be, play to 100% of our potential, and then, you know, as the season progresses, the wins and losses will kind of shake out.
Well, Coach, best of luck to the Bulldogs as you get ready for the 2017 season. Looking forward to Ferris State softball.
Thanks a lot.
We'll be back with more after this on Ferris Sports Update.